Quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals are four-sided polygons. There are many different types of quadrilaterals. We can determine the type of quadrilateral by the number of parallel sides that it has. A basic quadrilateral has no pair of parallel sides, meaning if you were to extend out the left and the right, they would eventually touch each other, as would the top and the bottom. None of the sides are parallel. In a trapezoid, there is one pair of parallel sides. In my drawing, the top and the bottom, when you extend them out, they are parallel. They will never touch each other. Whereas the left and the right, eventually, if you extend out, they would intersect. So I'm going to show parallel by these little arrows. So the top and the bottom in my picture are parallel. And in a parallelogram, you have two pairs of parallel sides. So that means that the top is parallel to the bottom and the left is parallel to the right. Now, with inside parallelograms, we have different types of shapes. A rectangle is a parallelogram with four congruent angles. And each one of those angles in a rectangle are 90 degrees. The top is still parallel with the bottom and the left is parallel with the right. And then you could have a rhombus, and that is a parallelogram with four congruent sides. Just the sides are the same. So this side, and this side, and this side, and this side all have the same length. Now, if we take the characteristics of a rectangle and combine it with the characteristics of a rhombus, we end up with a square. And a square is a parallelogram with four congruent sides and four congruent angles. So all of the angles are 90 degrees and all of the sides are the same. Now understand, I can look at a square and call it a rectangle, because in order for something to be a rectangle, it has to have four congruent angles, which a square does. I cannot look at a rectangle and call it a square, because squares have to have congruent sides and congruent angles. So all squares are rectangles, but all rectangles are not squares. It's kind of like all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs.